Before light pierced the waters, there was the deep, the ancient tamed, the abyss beyond worlds. In the beginning, the Spirit of God hovered over the waters. That verse gives us the moment of creation. But what if the waters were not simply passive? What if they moved with a living pulse, a current of chaos, a creature waiting beneath the surface? Because in all the sum of Scripture, one shadow lurks before the dawn of creation. One hidden monster of the deep, Leviathan. Picture the universe before form, a formless void. The ancient Hebrew word tamed describes that primal sea, the swirling deep which the voice of God would command into order. But tamed was never empty. In other Near Eastern mythologies, this sea teemed with serpents, leviathans, dragons of the abyss. The Babylonian myth of Tiamat tells of a primordial goddess of the sea slain by the storm god Marduk. In that myth, we sense an echo of our Leviathan. Could it be then that before light shone, before land rose, before man walked, the beast of the deep already stirred? We read in the Psalms, "There is the sea great and wide, in which are creatures innumerable. There is Leviathan, which you made to play therein." Psalm 104, verse 26. Here, Leviathan is not simply chaos, but by divine allowance, part of creation's tapestry. And in the apocryphal work 2 Esdras we read, "Then didst thou keep in existence two living creatures, one called Behemoth, and the name of the other was Leviathan." 2 Esdras 6:49. And further in verse 52, "To Leviathan thou gavest the seventh part, the watery part, and thou hast kept him to be devoured of whom thou wilt. And when thou wilt," the text suggests Leviathan was created, set aside in the waters, reserved for an appointed day. So I ask you, was Leviathan born before the world, or with it? Was the abyss silent, or did it roar in hidden waters? And if so, what role did the beast of the deep play in the story of creation? From ancient prophecies to hidden mysteries, from the battles of angels to the whispers of wisdom, every story in the Bible holds a deeper truth. If you love powerful Bible stories, deep revelations, and mind-blowing mysteries, then you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications so you never miss a revelation. And if you're new here, indicate in the comments section so we can welcome you into the community. The canonical portrait is stark. In the book of Job, the Lord challenges the unjust, halting human. Can you pull in Leviathan with a fish hook or tie down its tongue with a rope? Who then is able to stand before me? Job 41 verse 1 and 10. This beast is beyond human mastery, too fierce, too wild. No harpoon reaches its heart. And yet we read in Psalm 104:26, "There is a Leviathan, which you made to play therein." Here we see Leviathan not simply as foe, but as creature, made by God and permitted to play in the sea. Now the apocryphal legend deepens the vision. From 1 Enoch 67:9, Leviathan and her counterpart Behemoth were created at the first. The female Leviathan in the sea, the male Behemoth on the land. One for water, one for earth. According to 2 Esdras 6:49-52. Then didst thou keep in existence two living creatures, Behemoth and Leviathan. And unto Leviathan thou gavest the seventh part, the watery part, and thou hast kept them to be eaten by whom thou wilt, and when thou wilt. The imagery declares these monsters were not mistakes. They were created, set apart, and reserved for an appointed purpose. Leviathan becomes more than sea monster. It becomes part of the divine schedule, the deep's secret giant, birthed with creation, yet hidden beneath the waves until its day comes. What if chaos was not annihilated, but contained, waiting for its purpose? Creation began with a roar in the deep. God did not simply speak light into being, he spoke order over motion, and that motion was restless. In ancient Hebrew cosmology, the waters of Tehom were alive, prophesied, a symbol of what resists order. Since Leviathan dwells there, we glimpse the tension behind creation itself. Fate and free will, structure and surge, the one who orders and the power that defies. And what about you? What lies beneath the surface of your life, restless as the deep? What beast lurks in the dark waters of your soul, hidden but tethered, waiting for its day? Beneath the tranquil surface of creation lies a war older than time, a war that began in the waters before man stepped upon the earth. We have seen Leviathan formed and reserved in the deep, but not merely contained. The psalmist cries out, "You divided the sea by your might. You broke the heads of the sea monsters in the waters. You crushed the heads of Leviathan and gave him as food for the creatures of the wilderness." Psalm 74, 13 and 14. Here the text imagines a divine stroke. The great serpent's heads are shattered, the beast subdued. But notice this, he is still present. He is not destroyed, he is restrained and judged. And in the prophetic thunder of Isaiah, "In that day the Lord will punish Leviathan the fleeing serpent, Leviathan the twisting serpent, and he will kill the dragon that is in the sea." Isaiah 27:1. Observe the language, twisting serpent, dragon in the sea, echoing ancient Near Eastern chaos mythology. In the Ugaritic Baal cycle, the storm god Baal battles Lotan, the fleeing serpent. Scholars see Leviathan as Israel's version of Lotan, the sea monster defeated but still lurking. In other words, creation is not a simple act of making, but a cosmic fashioning of order over rebellion. What if Leviathan is not just a monster, but a mirror of human hubris and a symbol of the chaos we try to master? In Scripture, God holds up Leviathan as proof of human limit. That same chaos which the storm god fought becomes the one who fights it. The divine order is established when the deep yields to the word. Could Leviathan represent more than a creature? Could it embody the spirit of rebellion itself? If so, then the war in the waters is not simply beneath us, it ripples within us. In the story of Job, God turns the focus from suffering to sovereignty, and at the heart of his speech lies a confrontation, not with Job's pain, but with his pride. Can you pull in Leviathan with a fish hook or press down his tongue with a cord? The challenge is startling. Not a beast to be slain, but a beast to be confronted. Job 41 unfolds with rich poetic description, fire from nostrils, scales tightly sealed, spears laughed at. He regards iron as straw and bronze as rotten wood. Job 41:27. This is not a crocodile, this is mythic depiction, an emblem of what cannot be tamed. The commentary is clear. Leviathan stands for untamable power and the illusion of human mastery. Matthew Henry notes, "Whatever bodily accomplishments men are proud of, the Leviathan excels them and is king over them." In this vision, Leviathan becomes the mirror Job must face, the hubris that thought itself capable. What does it mean that God uses a sea monster to speak to a man? It means God did not just show Job a monster, he showed him his limits. When Job looked upon Leviathan, he looked upon the truth that human strength is finite. God's reign is infinite. What about you? What part of your life are you trying to control when truly only one can? Leviathan reminds us that hubris is not just pride. It is the belief we can subdue what only God can tame. In the War of the Waters and in Job's confrontation, we see the same theme. The beast beneath the waves, the pride in the heart, the word above all. Leviathan was born to illustrate chaos, but Job's lesson, humility, and our lesson, to trust the one who rules the sea. Now, what do you think? How do you see the war in the waters playing out in our world today? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section. Now, what if the monster of the deep did not remain beneath the waters, but rose to rule empires? The prophet Isaiah looked ahead and declared, "In that day the Lord will punish Leviathan, the fleeing serpent, Leviathan, the twisting serpent, and he will slay the dragon that is in the sea." Isaiah 27:1. Notice the multiplicity, the fleeing serpent, the twisting serpent, the dragon of the sea. Leviathan is no mere sea beast. He is symbol. And with this symbol, the scriptures depict a power behind powers, a coalition of kingdoms whose roots reach back to the deep. In the book of Ezekiel, Egypt is the great dragon that lies in the midst of his rivers. Ezekiel 29:3-5. Though the text does not name Leviathan explicitly here, tradition sees the dragon imagery as connected to the Leviathan motif, a sea monster resting in the Nile's waters. Empires rise like waves. Each claims divinity. Each reflects the beast of chaos harnessed for dominion. In the apocalyptic vision of Revelation, the red dragon rises, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. The dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered. Revelation 12:3-4. Scholars connect this dragon, this beast from the sea, with the same mythic imagery of Leviathan, the coiling serpent of the abyss elevated to cosmic supremacy. Leviathan becomes empire incarnate. Hold on a second, this is getting deep, right? But before we continue, let me ask you something. If this is blessing you, blowing your mind, or making you see scriptures in a new light, then let me know in the comments section so that I can continue making videos like this. And if you haven't done so, kindly subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next revelation. Now let's continue, because what happens next is truly shocking. From Pharaoh's Egypt to Babylon's arrogance, from Rome's legions to the global powers of our age, each in a way channels the beast's ambition. The headless monster becomes many-headed, the dragon with crowns and horns. Like Lotan in the Ugaritic myth, whose many heads symbolized unstoppable chaos, Leviathan's mythic shadow lengthens into history. Yet even in prophecy of judgment, the beast remains present until the appointed day, when the Lord's sword shall punish him. You crushed the heads of Leviathan. You gave him as food for the creatures of the wilderness. Psalm 74:14. The beast rises. The beast rules. The beast is judged. What empires today carry the image of Leviathan? Power built over people, pride elevated above the divine order? Could our world powers mirror the sea monster's ambition? But the story of Leviathan does not end in nations and thrones. It penetrates deeper into the inner world of the human soul. When Scripture defines Leviathan as king over all the children of pride in Job 41:34, we realize the beast is not only out there, it is in us. In Christian tradition, as Augustine writes in City of God, Book 16, Leviathan is identified with the devil, the swollen soul of pride. Here the myth becomes mirror. We are drawn to power. We build cities, elevate empires, harness technologies. And yet beneath it all slithers the beast of self-exaltation. He is king over all the children of pride. In other words, pride is the palace built by the beast, and the beast lives where we believe we are our own. Modern incarnations of the beast are less about dragons and more about data, voices, control. We stand in a new deep digital seas, and the Leviathan of ambition, ego, systems of power still reigns. The beast within mirrors the beast without. So let me ask, what if the dragon is not just beneath the sea, but beneath the surface of every proud heart? What do you see when you look inside? Ambition, control, creation turned weapon. But there is hope. In recognizing Leviathan within, we no longer serve him unknowingly. In Psalm 104, verse 26, we heard, "There is Leviathan, which you made to play therein." Even the monster is permitted by God's hand. So the call becomes this: humility instead of hype, service instead of sovereignty, submission instead of self-exaltation. The empire of the beast falters, the inner monster submits, and in that moment the tide turns. So I ask you today, how might you choose to refuse the beast's dominion and allow something new to rise? But then, if the final act of creation was the destruction of its greatest monster, what if the beast the world feared was destined to become the feast of peace? The prophet Isaiah declared, "In that day the Lord will punish Leviathan the fleeing serpent, Leviathan the twisting serpent, and he will slay the dragon that is in the sea." Here the serpent of the abyss is not simply defeated, he is pierced. The divine sword unsheathed, the dragon brought low. The psalmist declares, "You crushed the heads of the sea monsters, you crushed the heads of Leviathan. You gave him as food to the creatures of the wilderness." Notice, the beast is given as food. The creature of chaos becomes prey. The chaos of the deep becomes provision for the humble. The imagery turns inverted. Wild becomes tame. In apocryphal Jewish tradition, the expected feast of the righteous upon Leviathan's flesh becomes a sign of ultimate victory. As one midrash records, the Leviathan's flesh will serve the righteous in the age to come. The monster hidden, the age of rebellion ending, the feast begins. The picture is stark. The deep's primeval beast, once terror and symbol of cosmic chaos, awaits his appointed day. And on that day, the Lord pierces the dragon, the sea monster, the serpent, the hidden monster of creation. Leviathan's end is not mere death, it is transformation. A refractory power repurposed, a destructive force consumed. And so we come to the threshold of renewal. But before the sea can still, the beast must fall. Let me ask you, what do you imagine lies at the heart of this prophecy? Is it simply the end of a creature or the end of a way of being? When God slays Leviathan, he slays what the serpent represents: pride, rebellion, self-exaltation, and the claim that power can stand independent of him. The day the dragon is pierced is the day creation falls back into the hands of its maker. Though Leviathan's destruction lies in prophecy, the sea still roars, because the beast never left the waters of our world or the waters of our hearts. In the New Testament we read, "And to Jesus they came and woke him, saying, 'Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?' And he awoke and rebuked the wind and the sea. And there was a great calm." Matthew 8:26 and 27. The sea responds to Christ. The Creator still commands the chaos of the deep. The monster may hide, but the dominion remains. Furthermore, the writer to the Hebrews declares, "And to Jesus, the mediator of the new covenant, and to the sprinkled blood that speaks a better word than the blood of Abel. Hebrews 12:24. And to Jude the word echoes, woe to them, for they walked in the way of Cain and abandoned themselves for the sake of gain and perished in Korah's rebellion. Jude 1:11. Cain's way, Leviathan's path. Pride still reigns in human hearts. Today the sea of chaos wears many faces. Unchecked ambition, technological monsters, digital waves of destruction. When we build empires of data, we are echoing Leviathan's dominion. When we see storms of climate, political upheaval, moral collapse, we glimpse the sea still roaring, and the question echoes across time. Does the sea still rage in us, or has the word stilled our waters? If the beast lies beneath the waves, it also lies beneath our souls. The sea of unrest within still thrashes. Consider your world. Which waves in your life have you tried to ride? Which beast beneath the surface have you ignored? And what if the day is coming when the sword pierces the dragon, not only in the deep, but in the soul? But hope is not lost. The prophecy speaks not just of destruction, but of renewal. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. Revelation 21 verse 1. The sea gone, the deep quiet, Leviathan slain, chaos surrendered, peace established. The beast is not myth, it is metaphor. It is present, but its defeat is certain. The sea still roars today, but one voice will calm it. And when that voice echoes, the waters will still, the deep will rest, and the beast will be no more. And so we bring it back to you today. What aspect of the sea still roaring resonates most with your life, ambition, unrest, power, technology? And how might you invite the calm of the word into the storm of your world? Do you believe the prophecy speaks only to the distant end times, or to this moment now? Meditate on these. Leviathan was born in the waters before creation. He threatened the order. He ruled the waves and the proud. But the day came when the sword fell. The beast was pierced, the sea quieted, and the deep rests in the presence of the one who wields the sword. The fire may still burn, the waves may still rise, but the monster has been met and met his maker. And when the last wave falls and the sea becomes glass, the beast will be no more. Only the reflection of God will remain. Once the sea was chaos, the cradle of monsters and the symbol of rebellion. It was a home of Leviathan, the serpent that defied the order of God. But in the end, the book of Revelation gives us a vision not of storm, but of stillness. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire. Revelation 15:2. The same waters that once roared now shine like glass, no longer threatening, no longer wild, but purified, transformed. The fire that once judged now refines. The chaos that once consumed now reflects glory. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. Revelation 21, verse 1. The words are strange, almost mournful. No more sea, yet in them lies peace. The sea has always been the symbol of turmoil, of pride, of the boundaries between God and man. To say there is no more sea is to say there is no more separation, no more rebellion, no more Leviathan. When the sea is gone, pride is gone. The last serpent slain, and only peace remains. The mirror of heaven replaces the abyss. The fire within the sea becomes the light of his presence. And maybe that is the truest end of the story, not the death of a creature, but the death of chaos itself. Creation restored, the deep finally at rest. But even as we speak of endings, we must remember, Leviathan is not gone. He changes shape with every generation. He hides in empires, in economies, in egos. He breathes through pride and power, through systems that place self above soul. His whispers are not always loud. Sometimes they sound like ambition. Sometimes they sound like fear. And sometimes they sound like us. What do you think? Is Leviathan still alive today? Do we see him in the chaos of our world, or in the quiet storms within our hearts? And more importantly, who will calm your sea when it begins to rise? Because one day the same voice that calmed the waves on Galilee will speak again. And when he does, the last echo of rebellion will vanish. And when the last wave falls and the sea becomes glass, the beast will be no more. Only the reflection of God will remain. And that's it for today's journey through scriptures. But the journey doesn't end here. If this video got you thinking, smash that like button, share your thoughts in the comments section, and let's dive deeper together. Don't forget, more powerful stories and deep mysteries are waiting for you on the channel. Just go through and click on the videos to continue your journey. Until next time, stay blessed, stay curious, and always seek the truth. See you in the next video.